righty. It's Monday. Uh-oh. So, if you know what that means, it's time for the In Case You Missed It podcast. And guess what? It's Monday, baby. It's Monday, baby. It's Monday. What's going on, TP Smooth? How you feel, my friend? Thank you for joining the live. We'll be getting started in just a minute. Appreciate you much. Ooh-wee. Good. I ain't got my music going, so don't judge me. Don't judge me. I ain't got no music tonight. I normally have music, but
you can't talk about Lord today. Hey.
Can't. I can't. I wasn't gonna say nothing about my friend. He told me.
Look who showed up and was sitting down 2 minutes before time.
And not adjusting, and you know. Did you get the tripod I sent you?
No, I have 3 tripods. 2 in my car.
Okay.
Excuse me, big stepper. Excuse me, big stepper.
I'm an average height, but when it's on here, it's like way tall because this desk sits really high. That's all. It doesn't quite work if it stops. I don't like the way it looks. But thank you, though. Good looking out.
Hey, I'm here for my friends. I am here for my friends. What kind of person? What kind of man would I be? What kind of man would I be?
I knew that was coming.
Where's the music?
I knew
Listen,
that was coming.
so I am running a little bit late.
What? Not you?
But I'm also on time. I'm on time, but I'm running a little bit late. So, if you can not tell, I'm beating up here because I'm fresh. Like I had a long day today. I didn't expect it to be so. Power packed.
Okay.
Happy that I had a day. Hey, Sharon, what's going on?
Hi, everybody.
What's going on, Majors? Hello.
What's going
Lori?
on, my brother?
Hi, man.
I literally was gonna pull music up before I went and had to take care of what I needed. I had to shave my head, I had a few things I had to do. But here we are. So here we are.
No.
Hater. I'm gonna look at you and say you're a hater. Anyways, happy Monday, everybody. Happy Money Rewind. Happy Money Making Monday. Hopefully you had an amazing weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed Cinco de Mayo. And my mom's birthday was last week, Friday. So my mom follows me on Instagram, but I don't think she knows how to use it. So any event you ever happen to catch this, happy belated birthday, Mom, from your favorite child. I love you. Saying, it's hard being the favorite kids, but it is what it is. Anyways, last week Ebony K. Williams went viral, right? And I'm sure by now everybody has literally, it's like warmed over toast, and that everybody knows it's bad. But here's the thing that I wanted to address on that thought is that I feel like she was missing something, right? And I put it on this on the screen for all of those who are watching, for all of those who are joining. Thank you for joining the In Case You Missed It podcast. We are here every Monday at 8:30. We're here for 1 hour. And if you have any questions that you want to ask all of us or any one of us individually, you can put it at the bottom of the screen, not in the comment box, in the question box. And the reason why I say that is because Instagram sends a notification out that we're doing question and answers, and we want people to be able to feel comfortable asking questions. And, there's that. So if you're not following all of the hosts here, make sure you follow all these great hosts because they are absolutely amazing. They have great content that they put out. In fact, so great. Somebody asked on one of our reels where was Major Cuts last week.
Mm-hmm. I saw.
Don't be putting nobody's business out there because that ain't my business to be answering for another man. So, somebody asked where you was last week, sir. Okay.
I seen that. Taking care of some personal business,
And he wanted to have a mental health day on the day of the podcast.
Hey,
man. Hey, look, the way the work works.
Get it when you can get
you don't
it, right?
get to pick days. Yeah, you don't get to pick the days at a time. They just roll up on you and be like, listen, sit down real quick.
And you know what I've learned? And this is that's so perfect. You know what I've learned? In this day, you literally need to listen to your body. Because when y'all remember when y'all used to play outside and, you were kids and you fall down, you pop right back up and you go running. Like I was at a basketball game Sunday and this kid, he had to be like 8. He running up and down the court. He jumps up the bleachers and he hits his knee and like falls. And I'm like, slow down, young fella. That's a whole lesson in and of itself. Slow down. But he pops right back up. I'm like, see, I remember when I was like 9, I used to fall down, scrape my knee, dust it off, my whole leg would be bleeding.
I know.
I mean,
it look like a week's worth of pain right now. You looking at that now? It look like a week's worth of pain. Ice.
Look, I went to the doctor. Doc, I think I tore something. Can you check it out? Anyways, thank you all for joining. As I said, this is the In Case You Missed It podcast. Also, make sure you follow the In Case You Missed It podcast page because soon we're actually going to transition over to there. And if you're not following there, you might be, and if you're just following all of the hosts, you might miss it. Well, you might not, but just in case, follow that too. Anyway, so what I was talking about was the Ericka K. Williams, how she said she wouldn't date a bus driver. Let me ask you all, because I don't think we really addressed it with everybody as much. But Sharon, where do you? I'll start with you because you're right here. And your smile is so great. Like I love the expression.
You do know you show up. You do.
Yeah,
know show up in
but guess what,
Sharon,
you're right here, right?
Yeah, you're on my side.
I'm right here next to you, right?
But you're pointing.
But
You're
I'm
pointing
pointing.
at me.
Though.
You're here
You're
for
pointing
me.
at me, though. Yeah. Right.
And Lori's right here. So Sharon and I are on the same page.
That's on your phone. That's on your phone.
Sharon,
Yeah.
we're on the same page.
Okay.
So you know that I'm talking to you.
Yes.
Anyway, like I said, thank you all for joining. Sharon, I'll go with you first. What do you think about the whole Ericka K. Williams, celebrity, lawyer, yada, 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 I won't date a bus driver?
So we kind of touched on it a little bit last week, but it wasn't so much for me when she was speaking of, I didn't focus on like the title. I know we kind of got into the occupation and it seemed like she was talking down about, a specific bus driver, but we were talking about more of the compatibility and being in the same, I don't want to say the same level, but just having the same type of mind frame and just knowing that where she is in life, she needs somebody that's going to be on the same level, on the same kind of playing field. And not necessarily, it's just all about your mind frame. Like, where are you? Like, where are you in life? Where do you want to go? Like, for me, I would want somebody that's compatible with me, that wants to go higher. I know I'm constantly growing. So when you're looking, you can't just look at occupation. So I got the argument that you have to look at other things, and we're going to be talking about those things: the chemistry, the connection, those type of qualities that you need in a person. But I also think your occupation can play a part in that, because you're talking about finances, you're talking about just compatibility in other ways. So I know it's a hard conversation, but I don't think anybody is wrong for having their own preferences, and it's all about what you want and desire in your life, and I think you can go for it. So for her, that wasn't somebody that she wanted to date, and that's her preference. That's up to her and what she's looking for in a person. So I don't really have much of an opinion on what she needs, because she she ain't in my playing field either. So I you know what I mean. I'm not a lawyer. I'm in education. They don't pay me well, so you know what I mean. I don't.
That's hilarious.
I can't have an opinion on what she wants and she desires either. So that's me.
So I just want to say to you, your smile brightens up the screen.
You told me I've been given the stone face and staring at me, so I'm trying to do better.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Not.
Yeah, he treated me bad behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? You're talking bad about me.
That's not even true. That's not true. That's not true. No, that's not true.
I'm kidding.
Don't tell no lie. That's not true at all. So, with date a bus driver, there's a lot more things that go into that. So Lori, no, you know what? Let's do Juwan. Juwan, you see I'm looking at you now, right there. You right there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So even though you're down at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, Juwan, does occupation? I'm gonna ask you it in a different way. Does a person's occupation matter to you?
No, not really. You know what I'm saying? Mindset. As long as you working, you know what I'm saying? If you have aspirations to be more, then we can work with that. But if you just, that's where you want to be and you don't want to go anywhere else, and I'm trying to advance, there's nothing wrong with you having that job. It just doesn't fit inside my lifestyle. I mean, because I believe as long as you have that mindset, you can run into somebody that has more than you that can help you get to where you're trying to go. But that's all on mindset. You got to be willing to go. Can't nobody come get you and make you what they want you to be. You have to already be wanting to be there.
You got to be working towards it, right?
Have some kind of goals or aspirations.
You got to be working towards it.
Say what?
Fair. I like
right.
So if you're in the audience right now, and there's a pinned comment, and I want everybody, if you could, 1 through 5, rank these in order if you're in the audience, right? Chemistry, connection, consistency, commitment, and character. Rank those 1 through 5. Just put, 1, chemistry, 2, whatever you think is the most important for you, right? I want you to rank those, because I want you all to also be engaged and kind of, let us know what you think. What's important? And if you're also in the audience, would you date a bus driver? Because I got a scenario that I'm going to flip, that if you actually follow me on Facebook as well, I also talked about that there. But Lori, I'm coming to you next. Would you date a bus driver?
I feel the same way that I felt last week. I feel like you're judging somebody by a snapshot in time. I think it's more than about their occupation. It's about, as everyone has alluded to, what their aspirations are, right? Because you don't know why somebody has that occupation at that present time. Could it be that they were laid off and they just needed to get a job so they could feed their family, so they could pay their mortgage? There's a variety of situations that could have occurred. So I think that's what it is. But I think that if you go into something excluding somebody on the basis of their occupation, then I think you miss out on a whole lot, because you might miss out on a great person who, although they may be there now, that may not be their only place that they're trying to go in life. They may have aspirations to, as she said, is he going to own the bus? Maybe he wants to do that. Or maybe that person's putting themselves through school. Maybe they decided, oh, you know what? I want to go back to med school. So I got to do this. I can do this during these hours, and I can go to school during the day. You never know some people's situations. And so I think that you really have to have a conversation with people and get to know them before you kind of exclude them based off of their occupation.
Perfect. I love that. So, as I said, if you're in the audience, if you could just write in the comments, what do you rank it, in reference to chemistry, connection, consistency, commitment, and character? When you're looking at your potential mate or you're vetting someone, Are you looking? What are your top 5 of those? You know, is it is character first, or is connection first, or is commitment first? Which one of those 5s are the 5s? Which one of those 1 through 5 are your top 5 out of those? And so for me, I agree. Like, I think that when you look at the character of a person, and here's how I explained it on Facebook, on my Facebook page. What if this particular bus driver, because I looked up Ebony Williams' age, she's 39. So what if this particular bus driver is 41? He is a 20-year military veteran that's retired, and this is his second job, right? And he just loves people. And he loves people so much that he just wants to connect, and he doesn't have like a nuclear family because he's, you know, let's say he's in Texas, but all of his family is from Florida. And, you know, he hasn't moved back to Florida, but he bought a home in Texas because that's where he was stationed. So, you know, he just loves people. Now he has 2 incomes, a military income, and his house is paid for. Like, this dude, you have no idea what his life and his lifestyle is like just by his occupation alone.
Exactly.
And here's a personal share, right? I was driving for Uber from 2015 to 2020, and I got the question often, well, do you make good money driving for Uber? Because people were thinking that the $3 and $5 and the $7 that they were paying for that one particular ride was not enough. But my response would be to them, well, what do you consider good money? And they would say, well, enough to cover your bills and then to have some left over. My answer would be, well, if that's the case, I make really good money. And so I'm never really giving you a dollar amount. But if you knew me personally, I could tell you, you know, that there were, you know, months where I'm making $6,000, $8,000. You know, when you're seeing months like that, and that's not like a brag, that's, you know, the months that I made 0, right? But when you learn how to build a business, that literally changes your landscape. That changes your life. And you don't know where a person is in their particular life, that, you know, you got to really just be patient with people. You know, that's something I was talking about with my best friend today. Be patient with people because you don't know where they are currently. And if you know where they are, great. But if you don't, be patient. Anyways, so, Lori, we're coming right back to you. Rank these in order.
Let the
Good.
girls go.
I was
Yes.
just about to say, don't come
Right
back to
back to
me.
you.
I just
Rank these in
said.
order. Chemistry, connection, consistency, commitment,
I mean, that's
and
what I get for
character.
coming on time.
That's
Let
right.
me say something though, because you threw us all off with these extra C's that you put in here. Because I was
So,
going back and
listen.
forth with the 3 that you gave us today.
First of all, if y'all remember episode 1, it was the anatomy of dating, the 5 C's of dating. So, see, DeWine remember, you know what I'm saying? That's why you my
But you
man.
did 3 when you sent us the message initially. So
I mean, are you struggling with 5?
I was struggling with 3.
Lord. So, I'm gonna say, as Tara Nicole says,
My
her
sister, hi sis.
in that order are character, consistency, connection, chemistry, and commitment. In that order. Okay, I love it. Cowboys, Cowboys up. I don't know, but let's go with Cowboys. Cowgirls, whatever. Because I'm an Eagles fan. Fly Eagles fly.
The shade of it all.
Right.
I'm gonna guess that 5 is character, 4 is commitment, 3 he just went backwards. So character, commitment, consistency, connection, and then chemistry, which is cool. So you think that chemistry is like, you know, the one of the least important, and then character is the most important. I like that. So Lori, it's on you. So what you gonna do? Go ahead, break it down. What are your 5? Like, how do you rank those 5?
I think that your character is the most important thing about you. It's not what you say, it's what you do. That's what shows who you are as a person. So
Right.
I think that's extremely important. That's number 1. I think that commitment is important, especially we're talking about ranking these for a relationship, right? Or
Yep,
just in general?
ranking them for a relationship.
Okay, just want to make sure because I was about to switch it up. Okay, so then commitment, because you know if you're trying to grow something and build something with somebody, then I think that can they be tied? Okay, I'm not going to be
This is
difficult.
yours.
No,
I'm not
see,
going to be.
see.
It's yours.
I feel like I'm always asking for extra things, so
It's fine.
I'm going to
Listen, you can do
say.
a 1A and a 1B. It's however you want to rank it. You can completely
Well,
leave
I
out
think
one.
that commitment and consistency are important, equally as important, right? Because in order to, when you're committed to something, you are consistent, right? That's how I think about it, right? I think that connection is extremely important because it's really good to connect with the person. And then I guess chemistry. Because I kind of feel like if you're doing all those other things, there's obviously some chemistry there if you're committed and consistent and you've got this vibe, this connection with somebody.
You got this vibe. I hate that word in dating. But I just want to see the vibe. I hate that
You
word.
shouldn't have made
It's
me go. You
real.
shouldn't have made me go.
Vibes,
You should have went.
energy.
So it is real. It is real, right? But so here's the thing that I think in reference to like the whole, oh, I just want to see how we vibe. The thing is, I feel like there are times that we will vibe and there are times that we don't. And when we don't, are you gonna dismiss me because we're not like we're bumping, right? Are you just that's why I don't like it. It's just like it's a agitating word to me. Like, what if, I say something wrong, right? Like conversation I was, having with my best friend earlier. If I do something wrong one time, do I dismiss a woman? No. Like, I don't just, or if they don't do it in the order in which I think they should do it, do I dismiss them? No. So that's why I just don't like it. That's just me. Now I'm all about energy, right? You have to have good energy. In fact, I have this picture that says, check your energy before you come into this house. I love that.
But you know, but
I
you know,
do.
energy
That's
is a
right.
vibe, right?
I do, but it's just like
Lori, I seen your
no,
face.
I know.
We was here.
I get it. I get it. I get
So
it.
when you said that, I
I
like
get
it.
it.
I was like,
That's just my
I'm
personal.
about to put in the mouth.
I don't like when people say I want to see the vibe. I don't. That's all. It's how we all have these little idiosyncrasies about ourselves. These little things that just like nitpick, right? That's just one of mine. All right, Sharon, your turn.
Oh,
So I know you're
um,
struggling, but struggle no more.
listen, I
Give
was
you the
struggling.
blessing.
So I'm like Lori. I think character is first because that's going to make me want to divulge in the rest of everything else. So character first. Then I would say connection would be next. Making sure that we connect on all levels, mentally, physically, all of that good stuff. And then consistency, keeping it up, keeping the communication up, making sure we continue to try to connect on for me, a daily basis.
You said for
Then I would
you?
say for me, yes.
Okay.
Um, then I would say commitment because we both want to be committed to whether it's a friendship, a relationship, dating. We're committed to getting to know each other, keeping this up. We talked about how things can get stagnant. So commitment to me can look different. And I would say chemistry last only because sometimes chemistry can be surface level and it can be fleeting. So, I mean, I think it initially brings you into getting to know somebody, but sometimes it can be short lived. So I would rank that last.
Okay. So before we go to Jawan, I want to dive into that and unpack it a little bit. You said characters first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then commitment, right? Was in there.
Connection.
Connection was in there, and then commitment was in there. And I want to ask you both: do you all? Because I think this is important in the dating and relationship space. Do you all have a conversation in the very beginning of what you agree to is a healthy level of connection, like we're going to talk every day? Or is there an unspoken rule? Because what I see a lot in dating is, oh, well, if he don't call me every day, it only takes 2 seconds to send a text. Like, there's unspoken rules that make people that it's like you're vomiting. Like, come on, like, stop it. Like, he doesn't have to text you all day, every day. He doesn't have to call you every day. She doesn't have to come to your house every day. Like, she ain't got to talk 5 hours a day. Like, you can literally agree. So to you all, do you all have that conversation up front and agree on what consistency looks like for you all? Or do you all have these unspoken rules about it? Sharon has unspoken rules, and she don't want to say it.
I'm the guilty one. Yes, I do have some unspoken rules. Now, it goes with my philosophy of watching people and how they naturally are. And then I learned how to.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. Well, I feel like I can have a conversation with you if I'm interested enough and I want to see things further and there's something that I'm not liking. If I want to hear more from you, I'm going to be honest about that. But initially in the first phases, I'm watching how you move. Like, are you reaching out to me consistently? How are you reaching out to me? Because this is naturally who you are. And this is not, I don't want to force you into something that you don't want to do, or you're not able to be consistent in. So then as I watch that, then I know whether I need to lean into it and say something or I need to back away. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
So you have an unspoken rule of what consistency looks like for you. How do you know, or how does he know what you think consistency looks like if you don't tell him?
I mean, it kind of goes along for me. It goes along with the connection that you have with somebody in that chemistry. Because naturally, I'm like, if you're really interested in me, and this is my own philosophy, if you really like me, you're interested in me, you're going to make it known. So you're going to reach out to me in some kind of way, whether it's a phone call, whether it's text. I won't have to, and I'm going to do the same thing. It's not like I'm letting you just do all of the work. So I think for me, it's been a natural flow where I don't really have to have those conversations. And if it goes so long with these gaps in communication, you don't like me enough. And that's enough for me. And I just back away.
Okay, so define a gap. Define a gap.
I'll give you an example. I've had a guy that I went out on a date with when we initially connected. Great date. We talked for like 4 hours. But as far as him like communicating throughout the week or like calling, he would not at all. Like, he would only communicate with me when he wanted to set up a date. I thought it was weird. And then I would kind of reach out to him and it would be sporadic communication. Like, he was real, even with the phone calls or just like a simple text answering back. I just didn't like the way he communicated. So I kind of like, I was quiet, and then it just naturally faded away. It's a look, go ahead, Chris. I'm just saying. Lord. We're supposed to be on the question. We didn't even get to the line yet.
We coming to you.
Don't stay on me.
No. I'm with you.
The reason
I agree.
why I'm here.
That's why he didn't even ask me.
Yeah, we're coming to you. I swear we're coming to you. So the reason why I want to dwell is because we talk about dating and relationships, and it's healthy for other people to hear you because they may be thinking the same thing but just can't vocalize it, right? And I think with those who have a voice, we need to be able to be the voice for some people who can't speak. That's all. Okay. So I'm not trying to put the scorpion stinger down.
I'm ready. Give it to me.
No. So, but here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Do you agree or disagree that if I call you once a week, that I am being consistent? Am I being consistent if I call you once a week?
Consistently, you.
Right.
We're not going to feel what I said right here, Lord. We're not going to do that. We're going to answer the question asked. Am I being consistent if I call you once a week? Is that consistent?
It's consistent.
Okay.
It's just not consistent for me.
That's fine.
Exactly.
That's fine. Because there's an unspoken rule, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say, hey, Lori, I work on an oil rig, right? I'm sorry, not Lori. I say, hey, Sharon, I work on an oil rig. I can text, but it's always busy. I would typically, when I get off of the oil on Thursday night, I'll call you and I'll set up a date with you Friday. And I really would like to see you, when I get off. And it'll be once a week, right?
I mean, there's a difference in that. When you're upfront about it and you're telling me this is what my communication looks like, and there's a reason behind it. But if I'm getting sporadic responses from you, because it's not like I'm gonna let you reach out to me and that's it. Like, I'm gonna try to reach out to you. So usually when I'm seeing the back and forth and it's just not aligning, I'm like, nah, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to deal with this long term.
There. But see, that's why I asked the question, did you have the conversation? Your answer was, and this is not to pick on you, but your answer was, I want to sit back and watch. But here's the thing, with that one particular guy, and let's call him Frank. If you said, hey Frank, I noticed that you're consistent with wanting to take me out on a date, and I appreciate your consistency, right? We know you're being grateful for the experience. What I would like is, this, but if this is going to be your level of consistency, and whatever you want to fill it in the blanks, but I think that conversation is a needed one. So I'm going to kind of end it. I mean, if you wanted to respond.
Now, I do want to add, with that particular example that I gave, I did have a conversation with the guy, because I was like, I'm trying to understand how you communicate with me, because I noticed a pattern, because we went out at least 3 dates. He was just like, I don't like to talk on the phone, and I do better in person. And I'm like, okay, well, I know from there that's not going to work for me, because we're not going to always be able to see each other. So like, you're going to have to get out of the box a little bit and talk or text or whatever. I just thought it was some other things going on there. So I backed off.
Last question. Did you have an iPhone or Android?
Shut up. That's the answer.
Why does it
You
matter?
heard me look at my friend.
He had an iPhone.
You're so funny. I'm just saying.
Oh,
if you had an iPhone, y'all
that's
can
some
FaceTime.
shade. That was shade.
It is. You know it is.
I just said, all I'm saying is, if you had an iPhone, y'all can FaceTime. You feel me? Now y'all
But
can
don't they
see
have other
each other.
apps that allow people to FaceTime
Yes.
in some capacity?
Exactly. And I'm all about
You
healthy
FaceTime on
solutions.
Instagram.
I'm just saying, I'm all about healthy solutions. I am. Anyways, so
Sorry.
Majors, because I'm swinging the block around to Lori, because Lori thinks she got away. But Majors, what about you? Do you have that conversation, and how do you rank these 5 from beginning to end in any order that you want?
Okay, so I don't put no more pressure on anybody than I put on myself, right? For me, I would go with,
I know, right? I was like,
character.
That's all right. I wish I had a pen and paper.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with character. I'm gonna go with character, commitment, consistency, connection, and then chemistry on the end. The reason why I say character, because I got to figure out who you are for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then commitment, you can figure out if somebody's gonna be committed to you by what they committed to themselves. Like, if you watch how whatever somebody's committed to, if they have problems being committed to anything, you're not gonna be any different. Then if you are committed, are you consistent in doing it? Once you see all that, then we can worry about a connection. And then chemistry is on the end for me, because there's a bunch of different ways you can have chemistry. We can start out having chemistry and watching movies, and then that die off, and then we have chemistry in something else. You know what I'm saying? Or if you put chemistry at the beginning of it, you don't pay attention to everything else. Because once you have chemistry with somebody, that can be so powerful that you will push everything else out and start making excuses for everything. Oh, well, he's not committing because of this. Or she's not doing that because of this. But we got awesome chemistry, though.
We get along good.
Your feelings hurt every day.
He make me laugh.
Right.
Like, listen, I cannot stand, let me just say this is one of my personal pet peeves. I can't stand, and it's one of my other little idiosyncrasies, right? I can't stand when I see a woman on a dating app say, if you're funny and you make me laugh. Here's the thing, Sharon, if I meet you today, do I know what makes you laugh today, and I just met you 30 seconds ago?
No.
How can I make you laugh and I don't know anything about you? Like,
you might be naturally funny.
I am naturally funny, but my naturally
Well, then
funny
you
may
don't
not
have
be
a
yours.
you don't have a problem then. You just made an issue.
No, hold on, Chris. Hold on, Chris. You're naturally offensive sometimes.
This is
First of all,
true.
you
It's
don't
a
see me
difference
in
from
all
being funny. You know what I mean? You have to know you for that to be funny. If don't
Like I
nobody
said,
know,
I am naturally funny. So, whatever. So, but
To
here's
yourself.
the thing, like, there's like Richard Pryor funny, there's Dave Chappelle funny, there's 85 South funny,
Which
There's
one are you?
Jerry Seinfeld funny, huh?
Which one are you?
I'm actually, so the way I look at it, and this is me, this is the honest to God truth. I think I'm like kind of 85 South situational comedy. That's how I look at it. What they do is what I call situational comedy.
Okay.
It's like in the moment they are able to kind of just go off of whatever they're thinking. Like they just kind of let it out.
Okay.
That's kind of. But I've learned to kind of like dial it back, because.
No, I don't know. I might give you a little bit of Corey Holcomb. You know who Corey Holcomb is?
He's like sarcastic funny.
Look him up.
He's
funny.
He's funny.
He's funny. He's extremely funny. But he told that line.
I mean, I do toe the line sometimes. I admit that I have some toxic traits. I'm one of my toxic traits that I love to be petty. Like I do, but I also try to keep that in the right box.
Like petty? Like what?
No, he petty. Like screenshot your text messages and share them on social media. But
are you that petty? Oh, you petty. Okay. Oh, you petty. Okay.
Oh, you a hater. You know what? I think
that is a whole fact, son.
Goodbye. It was great seeing you. God, hey, but you know what? Speaking of that, let me say this in reference to that particular comment. Here's the thing: if nobody says anything, nobody knows. But that's a whole nother story. That's all I gotta say.
Super petty, sis. Super petty.
Anyway, yeah, but that's my one. That's one of my toxic traits. Like I'm not gonna say that on live because y'all probably gonna record it and then send it to the person that I'm talking about if I say it, and I ain't got time.
Yes,
that's the Chris.
Anyway, but Lori,
that
I'm
ain't
gonna call you and tell you how petty I was thinking about being.
Stop.
Because
okay.
you my spell
As your unofficial representative, I'm gonna ask you to stop. Don't
you see, I can
proceed.
control myself.
Don't say anything else.
Lori, do you have the conversation of?
You already know the answer to this, but okay, yeah, let's play this game. I'm ready.
You didn't ask the one. You didn't let him finish.
Yeah, you didn't ask the one.
I was so heartbroken that you didn't allow me to role play. We're gonna do it today.
No, Lori, I don't want to. I got out of that. I'm okay. I feel better about it now.
In your feeling. It's a fact. I'm just, and you know what? Your feelings are valid.
I know. I have a lot of feelings all the time. That's why it's important for my person to call me every day. Because if he doesn't call me every day, then he gets like emojis, or I send like Drake, and I'll be like, "Yo, I'm in my feelings."
Oh,
like,
ready? Now y'all see why she's my spellman sister. Why I've known her for so many years.
But we joke though. Like it is so like we have so much fun, and like if I'm not answering, if we play phone tag or whatever. He's like, "Oh, so you Drake now?" And I was like, "Oh no, I really was doing something." We just have fun.
You being
no. But seriously, all jokes aside, you do have to have the conversation at some point. But I'm like Sharon, like if you don't call me, that tells me you don't like me. That's how I feel. I'm just being honest.
Why?
If you don't call me or if you don't text me, because I'm not gonna operate in a space of assumption. Either you do or you don't, and it's okay either way. But I feel like if you like me and if you're trying to get to know me, then we'll talk to each other. We'll communicate in some capacity. Okay. And
I mean, it's not true. We got two men on here, like for real. Like when you like a woman, how consistent are you with communicating? Just as you guys personally.
That's actually the question I'm about to ask. Literally, because that was right in par. Because that's the question that you asked us a couple weeks back, and I want to bring that up for tonight's conversation. But let me jump in real quick and say, if you're in the conversation and you're watching our show, then in case you missed the podcast, make sure you like and not subscribe, but you like our show. You follow all of the hosts here. And if you have a question about anything that we said or just a question for us as a group, there's a comment section. You can put it there. I'll just say that. And there's a question box. If you put it in the question box, it'll send out a notification to Instagram that we're doing question and answers. And that's the reason why I asked for that, just in case. So let me rank my 5 in order. So I am with everybody else character, but I'm a little bit different. I believe that
Go ahead, proceed.
Your auntie. How about that? Because I don't know your mama, but I don't know your aunt either.
Don't expel me.
Listen, if y'all don't see Sharon next week, y'all know why.
Don't do me like that.
He's not gonna do that because he won't have anybody to role play with.
Listen, she is not irreplaceable, okay? No, I'm just saying.
Now you
Sharon is my...
I'm saying.
Huh?
Now you Beyonce.
I'm just saying. I didn't understand.
Go ahead.
Anyways,
Go ahead. Right.
So for me, next would be actually connection, because I believe in connection over chemistry. But right along with connection is chemistry. So like one would be character. Like your character has to be, the type of character of the person that I would like to be with, right? Because I want to be the type of person that you need to be with, right? So connection and chemistry, but connection will be first and chemistry will be second, right? Because if you are able to connect to me and I'm able to connect to you, like in the way that we would need to, then I really believe everything else would fall in line. Because for me, I am a guy that needs for a woman to establish an emotional connection with me. And once you establish your emotional connection, you got me. Now, that don't mean that you got me all the way, because you might mess up. And I do. So unlike the rest of the world who does like green flags and red flags, and they say like, oh, if he don't call me every day, it's a red flag. No, that ain't me. I do green, yellow, and red flags. It's got kind of like a stoplight. So a yellow flag for me is like, if I notice something and it's not a red flag or a deal breaker, I'm just like, let me pay attention to that. See if it's a pattern. If it's a pattern, it's something that I can't deal with. That's a red. It turns into a red flag. All right. So it's connection and chemistry, and then so 3A and B will be consistency and commitment. So for me, commitment will be last, because if you're consistent with me and consistent in the things that I need, not just what you think. And you know what? I'm gonna ask that too. Consistent with the things that I need, not what you think I need. That's huge. And I don't know if you all are out there in the dating cosmos and you're just giving. Like there's an example of a guy, a woman, she cooks for him, she cleans for him, she does all these things. And then 6 months later, she's wondering why they're not in a relationship. And she asks him, well, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing all these things. Why are we not together? And he says to her, well, I never asked you for those things. And here's the thing. If you're not asking that person, what is it that they need from you, you've actually missed them. So character, connection, chemistry, consistency, and then commitment. Because you'll be able to get a commitment from me when I'm in the space to commit, when you do all of those things, when your character is upstanding, when your connection with me, we have an emotional connection, when our chemistry, we just flow, like literally we can just flow. It is, for me, it's imperative that we have like a flow, because see, I look at chemistry kind of like water, right? Water just flows and it doesn't stop. Even if it hits a barrier, it will find a way around, right? So that for me, just like that. And then consistency and commitment. So those are my 5. Yeah. So Sharon, you were asking, and this is the question that you asked in the group chat. When you are looking to pursue or date a person, and this is for all of us, right? And for you in the audience too, when you are looking to pursue someone, and that person is just as interested in you as they are, how often would you like to communicate with that person? If you're in the audience, how often would you like to communicate with your person or your person to reach out to you? What is it, daily? Is it weekly? Is it, let's stay on the phone for 5 hours? What is it that you all would like, and what does that look for you all? So, Duane, I'm coming to you first. What do you want your person to do for you? How does that look?
I would say in the beginning, when it's fresh,
Okay.
we can talk every day. You know what I mean? I'm that kind of person. We can call, we can talk every day. But after that, we got to do every other day. But you can still get a text message within that. I mean, because this is what it is. Now, look, this is what it is. If you talk every day, eventually you run out of words. Like you haven't done anything different than you did yesterday. We keep asking the same questions over and over again. You know what I mean? So it ain't got to be 2 weeks apart or nothing like that. I'm not gonna do anything like that, but it still has to be fresh. I don't like getting on the phone.
I got that. I like
sitting there.
that.
You know what you doing? You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't mind. If our schedules don't link up, we might not be able to talk every. If you work in the morning and I work in the evening, and we do end up at night at the same time, I'm tired of. It's just about the schedule. But I don't mind talking every day or every other day. At least communicating. If we don't talk,
Well,
we at least check on.
we know Sharon wants you to call her every day, all day. So we're going to bypass Sharon.
No, you're not going to bypass me.
Listen,
I need to elaborate on my communication because I feel like you're judging me.
I want you all to know that if y'all don't call her every day, at least once in the morning, check on to see if she ate at lunch. Check and see
don't
if
speak for me.
And check to make sure she make it home. And then when she make it home, make sure she ate.
No, I don't need all that.
No.
Lord,
No.
But,
so
but, you know.
look, communication looks different. I mean, you have very many ways that you can communicate with somebody. You got text messages, you got phone calls, you got video chat, you got voice messages, which I love. So my thing is, I want stop.
What?
So
no, you talking about like voice notes?
Like the voice notes, yeah. Voice messages, voice notes.
I love those.
So for me, it's like we don't have to talk every day, like for hours and all of that stuff. I just need some form of communication that I'm on your mind. Like, even if it's a text message.
Take out for tacos weekly.
Well, listen, I like Taco Tuesdays. I mean, that's just,
Nothing wrong with that, friend.
You know what's really funny?
Nothing wrong with that.
I know that because you post about tacos all the time. Like, that's your toxic trait.
That's it is. It is. Tell me I'm pretty and feed me tacos and I'm good. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
But like, yeah, so my weeks vary too. My weeks look different too based on my son too. So I have him the week on, week off. So when I have him, I'm not going to be able to talk to you. Like when I'm getting off work, I get him, I'm in mommy mode. So sometimes I'm tired and I don't want to have no conversations at 9:00 at night. I'm going to bed. So my weeks or my days might look a little different, like a day like tonight when I don't have them. Hey, I'm outside, I'm talking, and I know you're gonna get on me about saying I'm outside, but like I might have the energy to talk to you. For me though, like I think it's important on my side, like I want to communicate with you and let you know I'm still interested in you. I want to talk to you. So even if I can't get to you, I'm going to leave you a voice note and just let you know, hey, this is going on, or, something short, even if I don't feel like having a conversation, either send you a text message, voice note, some kind of connection there. That's what's important to me. Communicating with me means connection for me. So whether it's a phone call, a text message, voice note, at least it's something daily, I'm good. I don't ask for much. I don't think that's too much to ask.
Connection. You got to connect to the kid. Telling you.
If you don't,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
You don't like me. Period.
Exactly. I feel you.
Why are you coming back to that?
I'm just saying, like is very important. I think we need to have a episode on that. Like versus love.
Okay. We'll, you know what? Y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. Sharon gonna leave the podcast. So she's gonna talk about liking.
Love, but look, love is easy.
It definitely.
Liking somebody is hard.
Definitely.
If you're a good person, you love people anyway. But like that person, it got to be something different.
You know why I agree with that? Because, and I'm gonna be short, right? Because if you take your time and just like be around the person, you can like them more. You can like learn to like them. It ain't just like a one-time thing. And thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Y'all love this show. Lori.
Sorry, what part?
Are you with us?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
we go on tangents though. We've been on like 3 different subjects.
Like you want me to go back and say it again. I want somebody. You want me to just say it? I want somebody that's gonna call me every day. It's important to me.
It's important that they call every day. So, Duan, did you answer this question already? How often do you want your person to?
Yes,
So
because
it's my turn.
the one's gonna call you a lot in the beginning. That's
He's
what
gonna
he
call you
said.
every day.
Then it's gonna fade off
Then it's
over
gonna fade.
time.
And then watch it.
Nah,
This is why women
don't
say,
see like that.
you know,
I just messing with
don't do something.
I mean, you got to want to miss the person. If you like somebody, you want to miss them a little bit. That way, when you hear their voice, you know what I'm saying, you smile.
You see their picture pop up on the screen, you like, there goes my baby.
I miss my person,
Right.
but he still need to call me.
So, in reference to communication for me on like how often do I want to be talked to, I'm different than Dewan. Like, I'm not gonna I don't need to talk to you every single day. But will I? Yes. Because I'm a dad, I'm a business owner, there are things that I can talk about. And if you know me, I can just talk. But see, you gotta catch me when I wanna talk. And that's the thing about it. When and I've learned over the last 5 months to become more introverted. And so sometimes I just want to ride in the car and don't talk to nobody. No music. Just go and do what I'm doing and just ride. Because that's like solitude and peace for me, right? So if you catch me in my I want to talk mode, you got me. Because you got the outside version of Chris. But when I shut it down, I shut it down. And I'm the fastest. And I don't know if y'all do this. I'm not talking about the co-host, but I'm gonna give you a major tip that has worked wonders for me. And here it is. I don't tell people that I will call you back. I say I will speak to you later. And here's why. Because when you say you're gonna call them back, people expect you to call them back within their set time frame. But when I tell you I'm gonna speak to you later, that means when I speak to you the next time, it's later. Now, it could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour. It could be a day from now, but it's later.
No, you call once a week, remember?
That's not true. That ain't me. Because when I like you, I'm going to call you. I'm going to see you.
But how often?
I'm going to be around.
Yeah. What's your frequency?
Right.
Is it consistent?
I am going to establish up front what consistency looks like for us.
Okay.
Because that's important.
You're talking around the question.
Oh, we're not going to talk about you dancing around the question because you danced earlier. So
what are you talking about?
Don't do that because you danced earlier on the question. We're not doing that. Okay. Anyway, so thank you all for joining. Real quick, if you have a quick question, we're going to take these last few minutes and field any question that you have. Anything about what we said, any question that you have about dating and relationships. We help married people too, even though only two of us, well, my homie right here, you know what I mean? She's been married, I've been married, we're not married no more, you know what I'm saying? Living that single. Entertaining. It's always entertainment.
Lori, I'm gonna take a screenshot of your face.
They are priceless.
Cause she busted this move right here, turning to the dad and looking at them glasses.
You haven't touched your glasses today, Lori. I need to see it.
I know they haven't done anything like crazy for me to have, but I did have to come around this water bottle though. But then first I started off calling you every day. Then I was like, say what?
So in reference to that, Dewan, let me ask you a question because I want to unpack that because we don't have a question yet. You said you start out calling every day and then it kind of tapers off. Do you get from women that you were pretending in the beginning? Because some women think what you show them up front is your representative and then you fall back to whatever else later on. Do you get that? Do women say that to you when you're meeting people? Because,
No, I believe earlier in my younger life, Yeah, I did get that because you do put on a representative. But now, what I present to you is who I am. You know what I mean? So if I'm not calling, I'm doing some other kind of communication. Because really what it is what you just said. Like I run a business, I run around with my
Facts.
kids, like I do a bunch of other stuff. So it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It might be like what Sharon said. If I get to run around throughout the day and I'm at work and then leaving here, going home, and then through all that, I end up falling asleep. It's not that I didn't want to talk to you. It's just if I would have got on the phone to talk to you, you probably wouldn't want to talk to me. Because I've tried to do that. I've tried to do that on a number of occasions and I've fallen asleep. Now, trying to talk to somebody and fall asleep on the phone, that's worse than not even calling. If you calling them and then you fall asleep on the phone, you might as well not even call because they angry now. They don't even want to hear from you tomorrow.
If you know me, anybody who's ever talked to me or dated me, I am a fall asleep on the phone person. Like I said it last week, I will fall asleep like so fast. When I'm tired,
You look like you fall asleep on FaceTime.
So, no, I haven't fallen.
I think
So I try not to
you
FaceTime. I try to be on the phone.
I said, did that happen?
No, I'm
Right.
just saying. Honestly, I really try to fall. Like if I'm on the phone, I would tell. Like I've gotten so good that listen. I tell like I was with my dating my ex-girlfriend. I was like, look, I done turned the lights off. I done got under the cover, and I'm in the bed. Like, and she knows it's like 30 seconds till it's lights out. So she knows. All right. So Tara Nicole has a question of to the previously married people, Sharon and myself. Sharon, that means you, and me. Is your ranking different now that you are divorced?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You want to take a moment and then I kind of jump on first?
Yeah.
You go first.
You go first.
So yeah, so I was married at the dumb age of 22. Dumb age of 22. Didn't know much. I thought that chemistry was first. Because I didn't even, and this is not shade to my ex-wife. I did not take the time to vet her character, right? I just want to say that. It's just absolutely true. I did not. I'm going to tell you exactly how I met her. I met her. I saw her. I told my homeboy, I said, the next woman I see that's breathtaking, that's going to be my wife. That's how I chose her. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I saw her from a distance. I said, she's breathtaking. I went to her house later on that evening. I said, you are my wife. She said, yes. I was 21. We got married at 22. Absolutely stupid. We had no chemistry, no connection, no consistency, no commitment. We had a commitment. We had a commitment, but I did not take the time to see her character. So absolutely, that's the reason why now. Yeah. Oh,
right. Too many details.
Wait, Tara says, I'm sorry, I missed this. Tara says, don't fall asleep on, I guess it's me. Just to say you sleepy and go on to sleep. Good night. That's funny. Lady Love says, Lady Love 088 says, I think it's important to a woman that how you start off dating kind of sets the bar of expectations. So when you change up and stop calling, it's a letdown. So Dewan, I'll give you a moment. Sharon, if you're ready, you can chime in. But Dewan, you definitely want to just, let them. You might have missed Lady Love that he said that he gives some form of communication. But he want to give you an opportunity to miss you. So, Sharon, are you ready? If not, I can jump to Dewan.
I'm ready. Yeah. I'm kind of like you. I would let chemistry kind of lead everything else, because I wanted that feeling of butterflies and that kind of crush feeling. So that was what I would initially look for at first. And then immediately after the chemistry, I wanted commitment. I was that serial relationship person.
I want to possess you now.
Would skip all the other stuff. All the stuff would come later. But then I would find out maybe the character wasn't there and the consistency wasn't there. But by that time, you're already attached. And, so now
you already know the whole
relationship. Yep. So, yeah, it has definitely changed now that I'm divorced. So, good question.
Man. That is a great question. Dewan, did you want to say something about to Lady Level 008? 088?
Yeah, that's actually
okay.
That's actually my aunt.
Hey, aunt.
But yeah, no, I agree with what she's saying. I had to learn that. You know what I mean? I had to learn like what Sharon them saying. As I've gotten older, I had to learn to try to guess what women are thinking. You know what I mean? Because naturally, you don't think about it. Like if I talk to you and I establish I like you, I'm gonna do whatever. We might not talk, but I'm still thinking we together. You know what I mean? They still haven't called. I mean, but it wasn't like that until I started listening. It was like, well, this is what I need, and you didn't do this, and I didn't see it that way. So once I was able to see that I didn't see it that way, then I could understand, because it's not just about me. I may feel like I'm good without hearing from you, and we still on the same page. But if you feel differently, and I do like you, then I have to address it and change up some
Don't
of
do
that
that to
answer
Sharon and Lori,
if I
because
want to
you
keep
might be out of the door.
Bro,
it.
let me tell you
Definitely
something.
sending Drake. Definitely sending pictures of Drake.
See, the difference is now than when I was younger. If you say that to me, and I think I like you, I'll adjust. Like, I'm not hot headed to where it's like, oh, you just want too much. I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm worried about me. Because if I like you, okay, hold on. What am I doing? What behavior am I displaying that's hurting your feelings? Because if I don't know, I'm going to keep on doing it. It's not that I'm trying to do it maliciously, but if you've never said anything and then you wait till you can't take it anymore, and then I finally start listening, you're like, nah, it don't even matter no more because you always do it. Now I'm suffering the consequence of something that you
And
didn't
I
even tell
just
me was
said
bothering you.
earlier, them unspoken rules of relationships. Because, nah, don't look away now.
Yeah,
Right.
you
Read
supposed
my
You
You're
are
mind.
supposed to read our
clairvoyant. Didn't you
minds.
know that?
Look,
You're so
they
clairvoyant.
like,
You have a superpower.
every day. Oh, every day.
You totally have a superpower,
like I
Brent.
would look. Have you seen the guy? What's the guy? The guy that's on the podcast called
Paris.
Tonight's
Yeah.
Conversation.
No, I'm not.
The
Not
one with
the
the
Paris.
the big guy with the
Rico. I think it's Rico, the light skinned guy.
yeah. Well, anyway, he was explaining that he is a man. He said, "I am a man that is fairly emotionally intelligent." He said, "Now the problem that I run into with that is when I express my emotions to a woman, what she ends up doing is she starts telling me how she feels about what I said and my emotional intelligence, and dismissing what I said. So now what I've shared with her and my vulnerability, it has become a problem to her, or she feels some kind of way, and my feelings just get overlooked."
That's fact. That was
I have to go
listen. That was
find that.
so.
Can
That
y'all
was so
send that
profound.
to me?
That's all. It was good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're saying.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Lori? I'm sorry.
And I said I didn't see that. Can you
I
send
sent it
that
to
to
you.
me?
We'll put it in the group chat where you don't look.
Oh,
There's the case.
here you go. Now see,
Shade.
So I'm gonna end
first
it
of
here.
all,
If
I
you
do
are
read the
on the
group
phone,
text.
if you're on the phone and you're running out of conversations, go to Amazon or DM me, actually when we end the live and I post it, comment. I want my book. This is called The Ultimate Betting Guide. This is actually my second published book, which I'm also turning into a card game. Which reminds me, I need to actually reach out to my graphic artist so she can help me make this into a card game. So I think card games are fun. You can like take them, stick them in your pocket. And somebody said,
And look at them in the bathroom.
the hater below me said, "Why are you looking in the bathroom? I don't like that." Because you don't want to be obvious.
I mean, but for real, no. But for real though, if it's a card game about conversations, you should be able to sit at the table and play them.
But
I've
see,
done it.
I agree.
I would.
But not everybody has that. Not everybody
Listen.
like has that, right? Some people want to like be discreet. Because let's say it's a question about legacy, right? They might not want to just pull it out like that. No.
But see, that's a part of your
I
character. You
agree.
got to be honest. Like I've been there. Look, I've been there. I did that. I went out with somebody, and before I even went, I knew this was the first time I was meeting him, and I didn't know how the conversation was going to go. I went and looked on Amazon, so I knew at least how parts of the conversation would go. I found some dating conversation cards, and when we met up, I said that. I said, look, I know this is our first time meeting. I was looking on Amazon trying to figure out how we was gonna have this conversation. So I looked up these cards, and they're dating cards, and we could play this game to spark up conversation. This person,
I
wouldn't like that. He said,
all right. So
you know what I mean?
So that begs the question. Sharon, I'm gonna ask you first. Actually, Juwan, I'm gonna let you go first. How long in between the time you get the phone number or the time you make the first connection, how long is it before you take your first date? That's our last question for the day. Like your first connection to let's say first phone call to date. How many days, weeks have passed?
For me, within the first phone call, we're planning the first date.
See you, friend. Okay.
Sharon.
I mean, what's the point of the phone call? Just that.
I'm so scared to ask.
The same day.
Like,
No,
you better take me out today.
I mean, I think if you're talking through the week, a good week where you're planning it and talking. I mean, I'm reasonable.
You just gave him your phone number today. How long do you anticipate that he should ask you out on a date? What's the wait time?
Let's say it's Monday. I say we should be going out on a date this weekend.
That's right.
Okay.
We should be out in them streets this weekend.
That's right.
And here's a follow-up question, because I asked DeJuan, and he's the guy. If he don't take you out this week, does he not like you?
Sorta. No, I don't think so. You don't like me enough that you want to see me again.
Exactly.
Golly, that's hilarious.
No, it could be somebody had something planned, though. Yeah.
You might have, like Sharon just said, she might have her son. We
It
might
could
not be
just be a
having
I mean, as
schedule.
long as that's communicated, that like if we just talking and you not making no plan at all, like ever, then that shows me you don't like me.
I'm with you. I agree, 110%.
Lori, he got your phone number yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. How soon does he need to plan the date?
I'm with everybody else. Like, it needs to be soon, like within that week. Like, what we gonna do? Where we going? We hanging out?
The point that I got the number and you gave it to me, that already means we want to spend time with each other. You know what I mean? So if you're not talking about the first date during the first,
how long are you waiting to call those girls and take them out on a date?
Who?
You know.
How long am I waiting?
Yes.
Typically 7 days. And what I mean by that is not just if I get the number on Sunday, 7 days go by and then I'm planning the date. No, because I'm big on conversation, which is the other C that I didn't add. If we don't have good conversation in the first phone call, like if our conversation is like, what do you do for a living? And where do you live? And how many kids do you have? Oh, I have, let's say I have 4 kids and they live at home with me. Oh, well, how old are they? That's just you like interviewing me. Yeah, I'm good. Like I've already decided, that I'm not taking you out. And here's something that I've already decided I'm taking you out because because we'll have nothing to talk about because you asked me all your questions.
But you know what I'm saying? Those kinds of questions could be her trying to determine your kid. You know what I'm saying? What if she's dated men that she thought she was into, but they didn't take care of their kids? So she like, hold on, let me go and get this out of again.
I just automatically.
You breathe wrong with Chris, and he like, I ain't.
Oh no!
Look, you
no.
One of these?
No. Oh no!
Yep. Okay, you're done. It's a no for me. No.
Yeah, I don't.
Y'all so crazy. So no, but in all seriousness, I don't like the interview style. So what I try to do is I try to disengage and re-engage. And what I mean by that, I'll disengage from you asking me back-to-back questions. I'll say, hey, I prefer, not to, ask the back-to-back questions. Just, I'd rather just have a natural flowing conversation. What works well for me is, because that's what I do, right? What works well for me is if we just literally just talk as if we've known each other for a while. And we can ask questions within our conversation. And I'll tell them, what you want the best out of me in conversation if you're asking me questions in the context of the current conversation. Like if I'm talking about a book that I've written or a book or an idea that I have, and your immediate question is, well, how many, baby mamas do you have? Where did that come from? Like,
has that happened to you before?
You gotta.
And I'm gonna be like, thank you. It was really nice to know you.
They shut them down.
Like that's a whole song. Shut them down. So I'm sorry. What were you saying, Lauren? I'm sorry.
I said, has that happened to you before?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna tell you something else I do, and I'm trying to end it right. But I'm gonna tell you something else I do. So, and this is when I know I don't like you, and it's bad, but I've had to learn how to reject a woman softly, because sometimes women, when they see a man that's a decent guy, they get upset with you because you don't give them a relationship that they think they should have with you. They do. So here's one of the things that I do, and I try to it literally starts the shutdown process for me. Starts my shutdown. I'll ask them the question that you just asked me. If you're trying to get to know me and my character, what does that tell? Like if they ask me, what do you do for a living? I'll say, well, what does that tell you about my character? And I'll wait for the answer. 9 times out of 10, the answer I've gotten, it tells me nothing about your character. And that is like the landslide. It's literally downhill from there. After that, it's like, okay, it's almost no coming back. But, I've had some people that have come back, which is fine. But, but if you like, what do you do for a living? And I tell you, and then I say, well, what did you learn about my character? Now that you know I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a business owner, what did you learn? Because you're trying to get to know me. What I do is not me. I'm kind, I'm patient. I'm kind, I'm patient, I'm loving, I'm giving. That's me. That's who I am. What I do is what I do. And some people just can't separate the two. So, but that's it, right or wrong, good or bad. That might be another toxic trait. I'm sorry, Duane, what were you saying?
Nothing, I was just sure. I just said that you said that a little aggressively, but
I'm just like, it is. Because, some people are just making conversation. That's like one of the questions they might ask you, not meaning any harm. And you just come back at them. What did you learn about me?
Make conversation by buying my book. You want to listen. You want to get the best. Support my business, and matter of fact, buy both of my books and ask me to sign them. How about that? And buy my board game.
Submit your questions in advance so they can get approval, so that you don't get any aggressive talk on your first date.
You don't even get a date if you ask me back.
We're all about solutions.
You don't get a date if you're doing back-to-back questions. You don't get a date. I promise you. Anyway,
you barely give out dates in general. Like, so I mean,
to ask questions, they cannot tiptoe. They have to be free to ask questions. So there is a difference.
Lori, there is a difference. I'm telling you, I don't think you've experienced what I've experienced. Yeah. And Sharon can tell you that you get those people that they just boom, 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 boom. Where you from? Where you at? How many kids you have? How many baby daddies? How many baby mamas? How many, you know what I'm saying? Did you go to school? Where'd you go to school? Did you graduate? What's your degree in? How much you make? And it's just like, they running down a list of questions. It's like, after I answer these 11 questions, what do you have to talk about?
Are you going to remember all of that stuff anyway?
That's why you have to. That's why you have to control the conversation. If you control the conversation, those questions are not going to get asked. But when you're sitting there and you're not doing anything,
that's true too.
Those questions.
Listen, why? And this is how.
Like if you leave
so
the right
you're talking right now, and they'll say, "Well, how many kids you got?" And go ahead and answer. Like little role play. And where you from? Oh, how long you been in Atlanta?
From Kentucky.
Okay.
But is that a bad question to ask somebody? How long have they been in Atlanta?
But
it's not a bad question.
They just keep. It's like they drilling you. I'm telling you, when you got enough of it, you like, you know what? See, I'm not going to. Lori is in a relationship, so she can't identify with this. But I'm telling you, Sharon, please defend this. Help me.
I mean, I've experienced it too. But I think like when you're answering the questions, like I try my best to answer, but then either shift it to ask them a question or either elaborate on my answer so it kind of expands the conversation. But you do have those people that they like to shoot off the same kind of stuff, and I instantly I can be like, okay, I'm already checked out because I can't because you start to get a little dating fatigue too, especially if you're on apps and things like that, and you get these same questions over and over again. It's very aggravating.
I could see that.
I'm telling you,
I would be annoyed at answering the same questions over and over again.
It's nauseating. You keep answering the same questions and saying it's just like, you know what? You want to ask me a question? Go buy my book. Ask me any question from this book. Anyone, I will answer. Because see, there's not yes or no. Like it's detailed. Like there's a better way I always feel like there's a better way to ask questions. instead of asking me what I do for a
What do you want?
living, you could say, like Dewan, how, I'm just ask this quote real quick. Dewan, instead of me asking you what you do for a living, is there a legacy that you would like to build with what you do for a living?
Same thing.
Now
It's
you're
slightly
fluffing me. I don't
different.
have time for the fluff. Hit me with the headliner. What do you want to know?
Lori,
Sorry.
do you believe in what you do, or are you doing it just because you need income?
That's what you want me to answer? Like right now?
You see how there's a different tone there?
I mean, yeah, I agree there's a different tone, but
But even if you ask that question, before you ask that question, they have to ask, what is it that you
I'm
do?
just kind of feeling like he's right. It's okay for it to come up, but it's obviously a trigger for
Next week
you.
is gonna be you and me.
Your team, though.
No, they against us with these back-to-back questions.
I like
You know what I'm saying?
your hat, friend. I meant to tell you that. I'm a huge Hawks fan.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Thank you.
if you didn't get a chance to ask your question this week, or we didn't talk about something that you want us to, you can email us that on the In Case You Missed It podcast. It is I.C. In case you missed it, and whatever _ podcast. That one. You can check it on all of my reels. It's attached. No, I don't forgot already. Anyways, I'll tag it on this video. Make sure you go back to this video after we end it and like our video, because it sends it out to Instagram more. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all for being here. Have an amazing night. Make sure y'all, if y'all want my book, y'all can send me a DM. I'll sign it and send it to you. You pay for it. In Jesus' name.
All right, y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week. Major Cut signing out.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Come back again Monday, 8:30. Love, hope, faith. Good evening, loves.
Good night, everyone. This is Lori. I hope that you had fun
There
with
it
us.
is.
Because clearly, this is a very
Do the glass.
Call me every day.
whatever.